Hi, this is Amanda, also known as Devorah. I'm Mikael's wife, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my goats. I have several different kinds of goats. What you're looking at right here, the first one that's scratching her back with her horn, she's a half Nigerian, quarter pygmy, quarter Angora. She's a good milker. Dwarf Nigerians are excellent milk goats. They're good for the backyard farmer because they are small. As you can see, they're about knee-high, and they produce an incredible amount of very rich butterfat high milk. One of the best milks you can get from a dairy goat. The goats in the background behind her, those are called dwarf Nubians or mini Nubians. They're a mix of a dwarf Nigerian and a Nubian. A Nubian is a full-size dairy goat, the best of the full-size, one of the best of the full-size dairy goats you can get. So they should also be good milkers. These are not necessarily for meat consumption, although if you were in a pinch and you were starving, yes, you could slaughter your milk goats and eat them. But then you wouldn't have milk goats. On the other side of our pen behind us, we have the pygmy goats. These are primarily meat goats. You can milk them. They don't produce a whole lot of milk, but they're generally for meat consumption. My gray and white one that's moving away, that's my Billy. His name is Eeyore, and he is, I think he's about 3/4 pygmy and quarter Nigerian, so I'm going to keep him as a buck. Then I have the little tiny black and white one. Not that one, the other black and white one. The little tiny one. His name is Gunther. He's tiny. That's as big as he's going to get. And I'm going to try to start a new little breed with him and the other little tiny female goat that's over there at the bucket. They're as big as they're going to get. So I'm going to breed those two together and see if I can produce even a smaller goat for the backyard farmer. They're excellent pets. They're usually pretty friendly. They're easy to handle. My milker here, Patty, the one we showed in the beginning of the video, I can pick her up by myself and put her up on a deck, or a platform if I have to. And she produces, when she produces, she can produce 2 to 3 quarts a day when she's full. We know that these animals are clean by biblical standards because they have split hooves, which we can show you if I can catch one. Don't take pictures of me, honey. Hi, Patty. You're taking pictures of me, aren't you?
Sorry.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Pat. Come here. Come here, Eeyore. Eeyore's here. He's gonna be the one. Come here. You're taking pictures of me trying to catch a goat. This is very embarrassing. Okay. Come over here with the camera so I can show you the hooves. We know because they have a split hoof. They have, right here you can see it's split in two. And they also have 4 stomachs. They eat their food, then they kind of throw it up in their mouth a little bit, and then they chew it again, and it goes from stomach to stomach until it's fully digestible. So we know those are the requirements of chewing the cud and having a split hoof. So that's a little bit about our goats.
How about the ducks?
Now we have several different kinds of ducks here. I have some cayugas, some pecans, some Swedish blues. I have a khaki Campbell over here. And
that's a rooster there.
That's a rooster there.
He has to live with them because the other roosters beat him up. So.
Yeah, he thinks he's a duck now.
Right.
And the one hiding in the black thing over there, that's supposed to be a runner duck, but he doesn't really look like a runner duck. And they, I have 2 males and 6 females, and I get 4 to 6 eggs a day out of them. Very rich. The yolk in a duck egg is a lot thicker than the yolk in a chicken egg. And they're considerably bigger, not huge.
They taste better, too.
They do taste better.
Why is a duck kosher?
Because it's not one of the birds God listed as not kosher.
Right. We do not eat our ducks, although, again, if we had to, we would. But we do usually, we sell our eggs and we eat our eggs, so this is the majority of why we have all of our animals. We don't eat any of our animals right now unless we really had to. The economy kind of turned. Right now it's all for egg consumption, milk consumption, but if something should happen, we would slaughter them and we would eat these
Now,
animals.
if you're gonna pick a duck to be a dual-purpose duck, you want the white pecans. White pecans are these pure white ones with the orange
got
feet.
one on camera.
He just sat down.
Right.
That's the male. They, as you can see, compared to the other ducks, they get considerably large. So they're a good dual-purpose, good layer, and good meat bird. And then if you want to see my chickens, we'll go look at the chickens.
And another misconception is people think that you have to have a lot of water for ducks, and it's not true. We do have a little pool over there for them, but they do fine gorging on bugs and digging through the grass and stuff of that nature.
Can you see the chickens in there?
Let me get a better view.
I have let's see, I have I have 3 different breeds of chickens in here. I have a set of Rhode Island Reds. I have a set of Brahmas, dark and light Brahmas. This is the dark Brahma rooster right here. The black and white ones are the light Brahmas. And then what we affectionately call Gigantor.
He's as big as a turkey.
He's a blue Jersey Giant. And Jersey Giants, all of these are large fowl birds. They're considerable sized birds. The Jersey Giants were bred in the 1870s, and they were created by 2 brothers in New Jersey. That's why they're Jersey Giants. To replace turkeys as table birds. The males will typically weigh out to about 13 pounds, and the females about 11 pounds. The Brahmas, which we showed you, this is the rooster here and some hens over there, and there's a hen over there. They'll get as big as those Jersey Giants. Maybe not quite as big, but they will get pretty big.
That's a rooster.
And that's Gigantor.
All right, let's look at the turkeys.
And we're going to look at the turkeys. Now keep in mind, we're doing all of this on 2 acres.
Right.
And this is not even probably a quarter of our land that we're using. These are our turkeys. We have a set of Bourbon Reds, which are the brown ones, and a set of Royal Palms, which are the white and black ones.
These guys give off humongous eggs.
They are some of the biggest eggs you care to see.
And they taste good also.
They're like a duck egg. They're much richer, but they're twice the size of any extra large egg you would get in the grocery store.
We got about 2 minutes. Explain the roaming procedures, the feeding procedures, which really make them kosher compared to if you went to a store. In other words, kosher and non-kosher eggs. In other words, how in the chicken houses they keep them cooped up, they just feed them slop and
Well,
stuff
they're
like
still kosher. Eggs are kosher. It doesn't matter the conditions, unfortunately. Like you saw, my chickens are in a pen, which is not ideal. It's only temporary. We're going to expand it because we've just moved and we had to throw it together quick. And most chicken eggs that you get in the grocery store are at least 3 to 4 weeks old, at least. The chickens are kept in chicken houses in very small 1-by-1 cages.
very small.
There's been some controversy about them keeping dead chickens in there with live chickens and salmonella issues. And when you have your own backyard or you buy backyard eggs, you're not going to get those problems because people that are raising backyard flocks and herds are going to be more, first of all, they care more about their animals because they're personally interacting with their animals daily. They're not in cramped up quarters. They are treated better. They're given fresh food and water daily. We have 2 children, 14 and 12, that it's their responsibility to collect eggs to feed the animals to make sure their water is cleaned out and fresh. And
Well, something the other that David Ben Shul brought up the other day, kosher in the Hebrew industry,
right.
Kosher depends so much upon the killing, but we at UTOM believe the raising is as much as the killing.
Right.
You can have an animal that's not raised properly and killed right, and to us it's not kosher.
Yeah,
we like to see it from the beginning to the end, raised right,
exactly.
humanely. All of these animals are treated humanely that we have. They have plenty of room. They get plenty of food, covering. But I'm afraid if you went to a slaughterhouse or a chicken house, you would not see these same things. And we're not trying to scare people. This is kosher in the wilderness, and we're just trying to let people know how to. And chickens, you don't have to have a lot of land for chickens, do you, Mandy?
No. Well, I would like to free range mine, which means they would go out in my yard and they would forage on their own. It's okay. But because we have coyotes, we have wild dogs in the area. You know, you have raccoons, you have predators, and so I love my chickens. I don't want them becoming somebody's food unless it's our food because we're hungry. So I don't let my chickens free range like they should, like I would like to. Not like they don't have to, but I would like for them to.
And a must for every farm before we go is good farm dogs, which we don't have, but we do have.
They are good farm
We do have a
dogs.
collie here that she's supposed to be able
She's
to.
a farm
She's
collie.
supposed to be able to handle these animals, which she don't. And Bear's a monster. If you saw Bear, he is a humongous dog, but he does help with predators. They bark at night and stuff when something comes in the yard.
They do their job and they keep us
Right.
predator free, and that's the purpose.
All right, www.utom.org. This is our really first one in the kosher series on how to have a little backyard farm. We'll be doing more of this, getting more detailed on kashrut and how to raise your animals. Shalom, this is Mikael and Devorah. Shalom.